Alright you guys, so to start off with, you want to have a rough sketch ready and make sure that the rough sketch has some hair strands kind of thing going on, so that you have something as guides while you're painting the hairstyles as to where to add more hair strands, in what shape to add those hair strands in, and in what direction you want to add those hair strands towards. Now once you are ready with the rough sketch, you just add the base color like this. And once you're ready with the base color, what you want to do is you want to start with the darkest color, and we are starting with the darkest color and placing it wherever we think the hair, or there's going to be this dark shadow. So for this instance, I am adding this right above her head, where the hair is kind of bending towards her face, if that makes any sense. I am also adding in between some hair chunks, as you guys can see right here, and you guys can use any brush you want, so brush is not important here, especially the brushes we are using to fill in the color. And I also added this dark color right around her neck like this, and right at the bottom of her ear as well. So that's what you want to do. And I know it's looking really weird right now, but we are going to be blending it out, and it's going to come out really good. So once you're done with that, you want to pick up this colorless brush called Hair, I believe, and this brush is from Artist Brush Set. And if you're confused, just match the icon which is selected on the screen on the left hand side, match it, and just find the brush just by looking at the icon of it. So basically we are using this brush to blend the colors out. This actually blends the color out in a very hair strand kind of way. You want to also make sure that the opacity is low, so that you're not blending everything out. Now once the black dark shade was blended out, I added this base color in this hair strand kind of shape because it was looking too dark. And then I went back to the colorless brush called Hair, and I started blending this out really lightly. So not only we are adding hair strands, or we are using brush and creating hair strands manually, we are also blending those with a brush which actually blends it in a very hair kind of texture way, if that makes any sense. Now once that was done, I picked up this dark brown kind of color, the second most darkest color in the palette, and I started adding these hair strands. Again, as I said, if you in your rough sketch add some hair strands, it's going to help you and guide you into what kind of shape you want to add the hair strand in, and in what direction. So based on that, I added more hair strands in this really dark brown kind of color. I'm gonna add those all over, and I'm not sure what brush I'm using, so I will make sure to put the name of the brush that I'm using right here, but you can actually use any brush to create these hair strands. And once you are happy with the whole hair strand kind of thing, also, before I went ahead and blended those out, I created a new layer. I placed it right at the bottom of every other layer we have, and I started adding these little hair strands around the hairstyle, so that it looks like real hair, because real hair has these little baby hair whatnot flying out of the whole hairstyle, if that is making any sense. So again, I went back to the colorless brush called Hair, and I started blending each and every hair strand that I had add onto the hairstyle itself. Again, you want to make sure that the opacity is really low, and also when you're blending those hair strands, make sure to actually move in the actual shape of the hair strand, so that we are not spreading the color of that specific hair strand all over the hairstyle. I hope this is making sense, you guys. So the good rule to follow is to make sure that you're not blending everything out, but at the same time you are blending it just enough so that you guys can see something is actually there. Basically to blend the harsh edges. Now once that was done, I actually created another layer right above the original layer, and I picked up this dark color that we use to create the darkest shadows, and I used this color to add more hair strands onto the hairstyle like this. And I did not add a lot of them, I just add a few of them here and there. And then I went back with the colorless hair brush and I went ahead and blended those hair strands out. Again, make sure to blend the edges out so that they're not looking harsh, but at the same time make sure you're not blending everything out where it's like you cannot even see, you know, any hair strand on the hairstyle. So that's that. Now once I was happy with all of that, I went back and I picked up this dark color. I went back to the layer where I have the whole face structure, and I am here actually blending or kind of merging the whole hairstyle with the skin itself. So as you guys just saw, I added these little hair strands right at the top of the hairline, and that's what you want to do if you're painting a portrait. You want to make sure you're merging the hairstyle and the skin together so that it looks that the hair or the hairstyle belongs to that person, and it's really easy to do that. Now once all that was done, I created a new layer and I picked up the lightest color from the palette and I added these highlights in this really weird way, because again we are going to be blending this out so we don't have to worry about it being messy. Again, once you are happy with the placement of the highlight, you're going to go back to the colorless brush called Hair and you want to blend those out in a shape of a hair strand. So that's what I did right here, and I added some more and then I blended that once again just to intensify the whole highlight, and it was already looking really good. If you guys want, you can actually trace over the same hairstyle, pick up the same palette, take a screenshot, pick those colors, and you know, just give this a try. Then I picked up the glow brush that Sketchbook has and the lightest color from the palette. I reduced the opacity of that brush really low, and I just added these mini tiny dots over the highlights just to kind of intensify the highlighted area. And now it actually looks really good and really kind of silky, but again at the same time it's looking too much, so I went ahead and decreased the opacity a little bit, and now you are done. That's how you actually shade and paint hairstyle and how you merge the hairstyle with the skin itself or the portrait itself. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. If you end up creating this, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see that, or maybe just DM me your painting. I would love to see that. Other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.